Hello guys, my name is Araxi Nassif and today I will be presenting about the role of the pancreas and the liver in regulating digestion. So I'm just gonna begin with some background information on the role of the liver in digestion and what its main function is and all that. So the main function of the liver in the digestive system is to process the nutrients absorbed from the small intestines, and the digestive role of the liver is to produce bile and export it to the duodenum. So the gallbladder primarily stores, concentrates, and releases this bile. The liver regulates most of the chemical levels in the blood and excretes a product called bile, which we just spoke about, and this helps carry away the waste products from the liver. All of the blood leaving the stomach and intestines passes through the liver, therefore leading it to carry away waste and break down fats in small intestines during digestion. And we will talk more about the role of liver onwards and how it relates to the role of the pancreas as well. So now the role of the pancreas in regulating digestion. So the pancreas is located inside the abdomen right behind your stomach. So during digestion, your pancreas makes pancreatic juices called enzymes. These enzymes breaks down sugars, fats, and starches, and we will also be naming some enzymes and explaining each role of it in the digestive system. The pancreas also helps the digestive system by making hormones, which are chemical messengers that travel through your blood and help regulate your blood sugar levels and appetite, as well as stimulate stomach acids. So over here, the pancreatic juices travel through the pancreas via the ducts and then empty into the upper part of your small intestines, which is the duodenum, and the enzymes present in this process are lipase, protease, amylase. So I'm just gonna give you a brief description on these three. So the lipase is an enzyme that works together with bile with your sorry about this guys, which your liver produces to break down fats in your diet. If you don't have enough of the lipase, your body will have trouble absorbing the fat and the important fat soluble vitamins, which are A, D, E, and K. And the symptoms of a poor fat absorption include diarrhea and fatty bowel movements. Now moving on to protease, this enzyme breaks down proteins in your diet. And it also helps protect you from germs that may live in your intestines, like certain bacteria and yeast. And the undigested proteins can cause allergic reactions in some people. So each enzymes have their symptoms and what they may cause. Last but not least, amylase helps break down the starches into sugar, which your body can use for energy. If you don't have enough amylase, you may get diarrhea from undigested carbohydrates. So as you can see, lipase and amylase both have the same effects, which may cause diarrhea. Now we also have pancreatic hormones, which are released into your blood, and these hormones carry the message to other parts of your digestive system, and they include insulin, glucagon, and gastrin or amylin. So also I'm going to give a brief description of each as well here. So insulin is made in cells of the pancreas known as the beta cells, and beta cells make about 75% of the pancreatic hormone cells. Insulin is the hormone that helps your body use sugar for energy. Without enough of the insulin, your sugar levels rise in your blood and you may develop diabetes. As well as the enzymes did create symptoms and effects, these hormones will also create symptoms and effects as well. So insulin we just mentioned may lead to diabetes. And then next I have glucagon, which are alpha cells, make up about 20% of the cells in your pancreas that produce hormones. They produce glucagon. If your blood sugar gets too low, glucagon helps raise it by sending a message to your liver to release stored sugar. That's glucagon. Last but not least, gastrin and amylin. It's primarily made in the G cells in your stomach, but some is made in the pancreas too. It stimulates your stomach to make gastric acid. Amylin is made in beta cells and help control appetite and stomach emptying. So those are just a brief description of those three. Now I wanted to talk about some causes that or diseases that I would say really that the pancreas may cause in the digestive system. Which one we talked about insulin causing diabetes to happen in some cases, and that causes one thing is diabetes, another thing is pancreatitis, and the last is pancreatic cancer. So I just wanted to give a brief description of those as well. And after that, I want to talk about the accessory organs, which are the pancreas and the liver, and their overall role and how they relate to each other. So first, diabetes. If your pancreatic beta cells do not produce enough insulin on your body, they can't use the insulin your pancreas produces. You can develop diabetes. Diabetes can cause gastroparesis, which is a reduction in the motor function of the digestive system. Diabetes also affects what happens after digestion. If you don't have enough insulin and you eat a meal high in carbohydrates, your sugar can go up and cause symptoms like hunger and weight loss. And over the long term, it can lead to heart and kidney disease, among other problems. So this leads to something, which is diabetes, which leads to something else. So it's a whole line of effects. Next, I have pancreatitis that I wanted to mention, and this happens when the pancreas becomes inflamed. It's often very painful, and in pancreatitis, the digestive system, your pancreas makes attack your pancreas and cause severe abdominal pain. The main cause of acute pancreatitis is gallstones blocking the common bile ducts, and too much alcohol can cause pancreatitis that does not clear up. This is known as chronic pancreatitis. So chronic is associated with high consumption of alcohol, and the pancreatitis affects digestion because enzymes are not available. So this leads to diarrhea, weight loss, and malnutrition. About 90% of the pancreas must stop working to cause these symptoms. So it's pretty serious. Last but not least, I wanted to mention pancreatic cancer, which is about 95% of pancreatic cancers begin in the cells that make enzymes for digestion. So they play a really critical role in digestion. And not having enough of these pancreatic enzymes for normal digestion is very common in the pancreatic cancer. Symptoms can include weight loss, loss of appetite, indigestion, and fatty stools. So overall, your pancreas is very important for digesting food and managing your use of sugar for energy after digestion. If you have any of the symptoms which were just mentioned, like pancreatic digestion problems, like the loss of appetite, abdominal pain, fatty stools, or weight loss, you would have to go see a healthcare provider. So now, overall, I just wanted to mention also the role of these liver and pancreas together, and CCK, which we will also talk about a little bit here just to introduce it. So in the duodenum, the digestive secretions from the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder play an important role in digesting chyme during the intestinal phase. In order to neutralize this acidic chyme, a hormone called secretin stimulates the pancreas to produce alkaline bicarbonate solution and deliver it to the duodenum. Secretin acts in tandem with another hormone called CCK, which is also called cholecystokinin. I tried my best. Not only does CCK stimulate the pancreas to produce the requisite pancreatic juices, it also stimulates the gallbladder to release the bile into the duodenum. And last but not least, I wanted to mention these accessory structures, which are what we've been talking about all along, which are the liver and the pancreas. So I'll tell you a little bit about the process and how they work together, basically. So once food products enter the small intestine, the gallbladder, liver, and pancreas release secretions, which we just talked about now, and such as bile and enzymes, essential for digestion to continue. Together, these are called accessory organs because they sprout from the lining cells of the developing gut mucosa and augment its function. Indeed, you cannot live without their vital contributions, and make significant diseases results from their malfunctions. But even after development is complete, they maintain a connection to gut by way of ducts. So this was pretty much it for the for the role of the pancreas and the liver in regulating digestion. My last slide here is just a reference, which is the textbook I used, and I also wanted to show you guys the assignment that I made for myself. It's a worksheet, so I'm going to pull that up right now. So I'm just going to go to the beginning here. So it's it's basically just different types of questions. I have matching, and I have short answers, multiple choice, and also diagram questions that I did make, and then I also solved. So as I was making these, I just put them in after, so I didn't have to make a whole new worksheet with the answers. So basically, these are a lot of matching questions, and we don't even have enough time. But I'm gonna just say a couple here and there. So let's start with the first one. For example, bile. So you would have to match the word with the description. So it's the digestive juice produced by the liver, and it's important for the digestion of the lipids, which we learned about today. Another thing is duodenum, which I put H. It's the first part of small intestines where large parts of the digestion of fats occur. And I'll just do one or two more from here. Gastrin, I, is hormone which stimulates hydrochloric and acid secretion in the stomach. And I'll do CCK, which we also learned about today, which is the hormone that stimulates the contraction of the gallbladder to release bile. So that's just some. I just have a whole list over here. We could go through that, and I'll also attach it. Ooh, okay, now these are long-ended questions. So my first long-ended question says, explain how the enteric nervous system supports the digestive system and what might occur that could result in the autonomic nervous system having a negative impact on digestion. So over here I explained it briefly. So the enteric nervous system helps regulate alimentary canal motility and the secretion of digestive juices, and thus facilitating digestion. If a person becomes overly anxious, sympathetic innervation of the alimentary canal is stimulated, which can result in slowing down of digestive activity. Second question I have here is describe how hormones regulate digestion, which, too far down, sorry, which we did also talk about some hormones today. So hormones control the different digestive enzymes that are secreted in the stomach and the intestines during the process of digestion and absorption. For example, the hormone gastrin, stimulates stomach acid secretion in response to food intake. The hormone somatostatin stops the release of stomach acid. So we just described two different hormones than the ones in the prior point, which I think is also very important. Last short-ended question over here says, describe one or more scenarios where loss of hormonal regulation of digestion can lead to diseases. So the answer here would be, there are many cases where loss of hormonal regulation can lead to illnesses. For example, the bilirubin produced by the breakdown of red blood cells is converted to bile by the liver. Where there is a malfunction of this process, there is an excess bilirubin in the blood and the levels are low. As a result, the body struggles with dealing with fatty food. This is why a patient suffering from jaundice is asked to go on a strict diet with almost zero fat. So now I have short and multiple choice questions. Oh, sorry, again, too far. So multiple choice says, which hormone controls the release of bile from the gallbladder? If you do realize this was also a matching question, so if you're following, you should get it straight. It's CCK. So second question says, the digestive juices from the liver are delivered to the duodenum. Also a matching question. And which of these organs is not considered an accessory digestive structure, which would be the mouth, because the pancreas and the liver is what we were talking about today, and they both digestive organs. And salivary glands, you should just know those are accessories. Now I put a diagram of both the liver and the pancreas. So this is the liver. This just shows you the liver and the passage. But really, this is what I was focusing about, and I wanted to label the parts of the liver and know the anatomy and physiology of the liver. So this is just an unlabeled diagram. This is a labeled diagram. We could look into that more. Like over here, you could see this is the duodenum over here, and this is the gallbladder over here, and it's labeled all over. Next, I put another thing for the pancreas, an unlabeled diagram, as well as a labeled. So we have here the liver, gallbladder, parietal cells, spleen, pancreas is over here, and then you could see from there on how they differ and how they're very similar, in fact. So that's it for today. I hope you learned and I hope you got something out of it, and thank you.